Okay, so I wanted to talk today about the most underutilized variable when it comes to strength training, training for performance, rest. So there's really 4 variables that you can use to manipulate how you're training to get stronger, which, by the way, all qualities, most of them are built off of strength first. So whether that's endurance, hypertrophy, which is getting more lean muscle mass, speed, power, you have to have some level of strength first. So that's why it should be a quality that you're focused on. So we got 4 variables: volume, which is your sets and reps, the total number of repetitions you do in a workout. You can also add in tempo there, so if you're going really slow on the way down, eccentrics or iso holds or something like that, you can kind of include that in volume. And then your intensity. And your intensity is not how hard you're trying. This is the amount of weight that you're lifting, the amount of watts that you're using when you're doing power exercises, the speed at which you're running. So for an example, these two have an inverse relationship, meaning if you do a set of 40 squat repetitions, that's going to feel really hard, but that's actually your intensity is going to go down as the volume goes up. So it's how much your nervous system has to output. That's how you measure intensity, not how hard you're trying. So generally, like I said, as volume goes down, the number of reps are lower, what have you, the intensity will go up. Then you have your frequency. This is how many times a day you work out, how many times a week you work out, how many times a month you work out, frequency. And then the one that most people don't pay enough attention to, your rest, like I was saying. So when it comes to performance, strength, power, speed, skill, anything like that, you always want to focus on quality over quantity. If you do a bunch of really poor reps on a given exercise, like 100 reps in squat, that is not going to translate to more strength, power, or speed. It's not going to translate to a better performance. So if you're not taking adequate rest between your bouts of exercises, or the quantity is too high, what's going to end up happening is fatigue is going to set in, and lactic acid is going to go up. And if fatigue and lactic acid are going up, then your coordination, your power, your strength, your speed, in other words, your quality, which we're trying to train, is going to go down. As an example, like a 30-minute all-out sprint can decrease your power output by up to 50%. So an adequate rest when you're training these qualities, strength, power, speed, really looking at least 3 to 5 minutes. That doesn't mean you have to sit down and twiddle your thumb or anything. You can do active mobility, but you really shouldn't be doing anything too intense. And that's really hard for people to do a lot of the times. But I promise you, if you take time in between sets of exercises where you're training strength, you are not going to get fat. It's going to improve. And if you're trying to build lean muscle, you need to have a certain amount of strength in order to do that. And that's also not to say that conditioning doesn't have its place. Obviously, conditioning has its place, but you've got to set aside time to train strength, power, speed for performance. And you really shouldn't be combining that too much with your conditioning. You don't want to do everything all at once all the time, where you're getting 30 seconds of rest in between each exercise, because that's just not going to lead to strength, power, or speed. So focus on increasing your rest when you're training those qualities, and you'll get really good results.